Television. My name is Olufemi Alabi. The Nigerian Union of Petroleum and Natural Gas Workers, NUPENG, has accused the Dangote Petroleum Refinery of a sponsoring division within its petroleum tanker drivers branch, resisting workers' rights to unionization and deploying what it described as falsehoods to undermine the union. NUPENG also accused the company of using what it described as a Greek gift of free nationwide petroleum delivery to undermine the union and stifle competition. In a statement signed by its National Executive President Williams Akworehal and the General Secretary Afolabi Olawale on Friday, the union dismissed a press release by the Dangote Group on Thursday as an epitome of unconscionable capitalist falsehood aimed at hoodwinking Nigerians and crushing NUPENG. On Thursday, the Dangote Petroleum Refinery dismissed recent allegations made by the NUPENG that it banned tanker drivers from joining the union, insisting that claims of anti-labor practices, monopolistic behavior, and planned fuel price hikes are entirely unfounded. NUPENG on Monday shut down depot, protesting that the Dangote refinery did not allow the newly recruited drivers for its 4,000 compressed natural gas-powered trucks to join the union. The shutdown of depots lasted till Tuesday, when it was suspended following an agreement reached by both parties at a meeting organized by the Ministry of Labor and Employment. However, on Thursday, NUPENG said Dangote was not ready to abide by the terms of the agreement. But in a statement made by the spokesman for the Dangote Group, Anthony Chenjina, the company stated that the allegations that it was undermining union activities and threatening workers' welfare through its new deployment of CNG-powered trucks were not true. Reacting on Friday, NUPENG alleged that despite signing a memorandum of understanding on September 9, which is said acknowledged the company's initial resistance to unionization, the Dangote refinery on September 11, 2025 instructed drivers to remove NUPENG stickers from their trucks and replace them with those of the newly formed Direct Trucking Company Drivers Association, allegedly created by the management. Meanwhile, the Dangote Petroleum Refinery will begin the direct distribution of premium motor spirit, also known as petrol, to filling stations across the country beginning on Monday. It has also reduced the price of the commodity. In a statement by the company, Dangote Refinery said the initiative will see the gasoline price reduced to 820 naira per litre, with corresponding lower pump prices in several key states in the country. Lagos and other southwestern states will see fuel retailing at 841 naira per litre, while Abuja, Rivers, Delta, Edo, and Kwara states will sell at 851 naira per litre. According to the company, the Dangote Group is investing over 720 naira billion into the program, which is also anticipated to revitalize dormant filling stations across the country. The project is expected to create numerous direct employment opportunities, including roles for truck drivers, filling station managers, and fuel attendants. Away from that, AP says the Nigerian Safety Investigation Bureau, NSIB, has yet to officially inform it about some of its crew members tested positive for some substances following an incident at the Port Harcourt Airport on July 13, 2025. In a statement signed by its management and shared on its official X account, the airline maintained its commitment to the highest priority in safety, transparency, and compliance. Earlier, the NSIB indicated an Airpeace pilot and a co-pilot for taking hard drugs and alcohol. According to the NSIB, the accident investigator tested the crew positive for the substances after the aircraft they flew was involved in a runway incursion at the Port Harcourt International Airport on July 13, 2025. But in a statement, Airpeace insists that it conducts frequent alcohol and drug tests on its crew, noting that the company has a strict alcohol use policy that is stricter than the 8 hours before the flight as provided in the regulations. Airpeace reiterated that the captain of the affected flight was grounded and relieved from further flight duty till date for failure to adhere to crew resource management principles and for disregarding standard go-around procedures as advised by his co-pilot, but not for testing positive to the breath Harrester test, as the result was not communicated by NSIB to date. The Federal High Court in Abuja has granted an application filed by the Department of State Services DSS to expedite proceedings in the trial of the suspected mastermind of the August 26, 2011 bombing of the United Nations building in Abuja, Khalid Al-Varawi, and 4 others. Through its counsel, Alex Izion, the DSS had moved the application for accelerated hearing on the ground that the service is prepared to ensure that the case is determined in a timely manner. In the application, which was not opposed by counsels to the defendants, parties will be allowed to watch video recordings presented by the DSS to prove that the extrajudicial statements made by the defendants was done voluntarily, as against the claim of some of the defendants. Justice Wete then adjourned the matter until October 23 and October 24 for continuation of the trial within trial. Al-Barawi is being prosecuted on terrorism-related charges along with other suspected members of his group. The defendants are, among others, accused of being members of the Ansaru terrorist group, also known as Jamaitu Ansarul Muslimina fi Baladi, Sudan. They are also alleged to have conspired among themselves to carry out acts of terrorism between 2011 and 2013 in Sokoto, Kebbi, Bauchi, Borno, Gombe, and other states in the northern part of the country. Retailers and dealers in imported goods have reacted to the new policy by Nigeria Customs Service, removing duties from goods valued at $300 or less. The policy was approved during the 63rd regular meeting held on Tuesday, September 2, 2025. The de minimis threshold is the value below which imported goods are expected from payment of customs duty and related taxes. In this report, Lydia Adebayo looks at how this policy affects prices of imported goods.
Threshold value of $300 for low-value consignments imported through express shipments or passenger baggage. This means that goods valued at $300 or less will be exempted from import duties and taxes, provided they are not prohibited or restricted items. The new policy came into effect on Monday, September 8, following a meeting chaired by the Minister of Finance, Mr. Wali Edu. Explaining the pros and cons of this policy, Dr. Yinka Anjus, a financial analyst, explained that it is a step in the right direction, especially if it would increase inflow of essential goods.
It increases supply side. And once supply side is increase of goods coming in, prices will drop. No doubt about that. That's the only thing that makes sense to me, that we are talking about importation. Then you also look at pharmaceuticals. There are some drugs we do not produce here that are very germane to good health of Nigerians. Not only that, there are some local manufacturers who need certain raw materials that will enable them to produce. Those are the goods that we can say will encourage importation for. And let me repeat, to the extent that once they come in, they increase supply, expectedly prices will reduce.
According According to the customs, this initiative will stimulate cross-border e-commerce, minimize clearance delays, and further consolidate Nigeria's position in trade facilitation. But what does this mean for a retailer out there? Would this translate to a drop in prices of imported goods? Ms. Misturat Odebode, who deals in imported adult clothing, believes the policy will contribute little to nothing to prices of goods, considering there are other factors involved.
It will affect in a way that if we actually carry a goods below $300, it is okay. You know that the tax will be reduced, it will be removed. So you don't need to pay any tax. So it actually be okay. Though we still face the transport fee, the customs money. But when they are bringing the goods from, like, for example, Cotonou, they have to meet maybe 5 or 7, 8 custom first stop. So they need to pay the money. It's even the money depends on the amount of the bill they carried. So, and those money that they paid, the custom money and the driver's fee, so it should actually be added up together with the money, together with the money of the bill. So when we want to sell the goods, so we have to add this together.
Mrs. Hawawu Onlarewaju, on her part, says only a reduction in exchange rate would impact market prices positively.
Kì í ṣe tax tí wọ́n fẹ́ yọ yẹn, tí wọ́n yọ lórí owó ọjà wa yẹn pé kó lè wálẹ̀, kì í ṣe òun ní issue ni wípé tí wọ́n bá lè ràn wá lọ́wọ́ kí àwọn owó bíi ọjà táwa ń tà bí ògìrìkà yìí bíi silver kó wálẹ̀, dọ́là kó wálẹ̀, mo rò wípé ó lè jẹ́ kí àwọn nǹkan tí ó wọ́n gangan yìí kó tún reduce.
However, Dr. Andrews averred that the initiative, though has its positives, would cripple local manufacturing and deplete foreign reserves.
When we allow goods to come in, it does more harm than good to us. One, local manufacturers will not be able to produce. Two, it eats straight to the foreign reserve that we have. People don't get it. When you import, you pay in the currency of the country you are importing from, depleting your own foreign reserve. And the more the foreign reserve is depleted, it lowers the value of your own currency. So that's the area I don't like.
Meanwhile, there's also the issue of falsification of values of goods, given that the policy only exempts goods valued at $300 or below. To enforce this, the Nigeria Customs Service has mandated strict measures against those who attempt to manipulate invoices or evade duty obligations. They have also warned that non-compliance would attract forfeiture of goods, arrests, and other sanctions as stipulated in the NCS Act 2023. Lydia Adegbaju, Western Spring Television News.
Thank you, Lydia. In other news, the Ogun State government has appointed 1,200 political assistants to serve as change agents and enhance civic engagement across the state. The governor, in a statement issued in Abeokuta by his special advisor on media and strategy, Kayode Akimade, says this is in fulfillment of his commitment towards deepening democratic participation and broadening access to dividends of democracy. Akimade also described the move as a strategic effort to strengthen democratic governance across all nooks and crannies of the state. According to the statement, the assistants, 5 from each of the 236 wards in Ogun State, will ensure greater local participation in governance. The special advisor emphasized that the initiative fulfills Governor Abiodun's electoral promise to carry every ward along in his administration's development program and to run an all-inclusive government that will value the people input in shaping policies and initiatives. Elsewhere, the Kano State government has approved 1.1 billion naira for the procurement of free school uniforms for primary 1 pupils in the state to encourage enrollment. These is contained in a statement issued by Sunusi Duanking Tofa, the spokesman of Governor Abba Yusuf, on Friday in Kano. The statement noted that providing free school uniforms will boost enrollment, improve retention, and ensure equal opportunity. Kano State, one of Nigeria's most populous states, has long grappled with a high number of out-of-school children, particularly in rural and low-income communities. According to data from UNICEF and the Universal Basic Education Commission, Northern Nigeria accounts for the majority of the country's estimated 10.5 million out-of-school children, with Kano frequently cited among the top contributors. Duanking Tofa emphasized that education is a right not a privilege, adding that the initiative will ease the burden of parents. You're watching news at 7 on Western Spring Television, still to come. National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control seizes fake malaria drugs worth 1.